In today's video, we're going to be diving deep into the Charlie challenge, and I'll be giving you reasons why it is something you don't want to mess with. Stay tuned. The Charlie challenge is a paper game played by teenagers using held or balanced pencil to produce answers to questions they ask. In the early version of the game, two players each hold two pencils in the shape of a square, pressing the end of their pencils against the other. This game is quite similar to the algae board game, with players moving the pencils without conscious control. It was believed that an external force controlled the movement of their hands. In recent times, it involves two pens or pencil to create a grid with a sector labeled yes and no, and then asking questions to a supernatural entity named Charlie. The upper pencil is expected to rotate to indicate the answer to such question. The first question everyone asks by speaking into the pencil is, "Can we play?" or "Are you here?" or "Are you there?" This is what a typical Charlie challenge looks like. Decades before the 1880s and long before people bought games like Alger, homemade device like Charlie was common. The first appearance of this game on the internet was in 2008. The game was popularized in English-speaking world in 2015, partly through the hashtag Charlie challenge. On the 29th of April 2015, a newscast about the game being played in the Mayo province of the Dominican Republic was uploaded to YouTube, and the unintentional humor in this report led to the game trending on Twitter, crossing the language barrier to be played around the world. From there, social media users in Dominican Republic started tweeting and Instagramming about the topic, and it began to trend on Dominican Twitter. A 17-year-old girl Instagrammed her game and tagged it with the hashtag Charlie challenge. The hashtag was apparently all the kids needed. Since then, it has had over 1.6 million tweets. Charlie is a kid who committed suicide, or a victim of a fatal accident, or a Mexican deity, or a victim of some kind of violent crime. Charlie is actually a demon or ghost conjured from the pit of hell to actually answer questions people ask, and is believed to haunt players who fail to say goodbye before they close out on the game. A lot of people have disregarded the fact of this game being evil and tagged it as a harmless game. Psychological suggestions can lead people to expect a particular response, which can result in thoughts and behavior that will help bring an anticipated outcome. It argues that divination games involve magical thinking, saying often the answers received might be vague and ambiguous, but our inherent ability to find meaning, even when it isn't there, ensures that we perceive significance in those responses and be convinced that an intelligence of some kind lay behind them. So, psychology basically says that whatever result we get from divination games is a product of imagination and not an external force. But I beg to disagree. This Charlie challenge is a form of divination, and every act of divination leads to a demonic possession, believe it or not. Demonic possession is real. Believe me, you do not want demonic voices in your head. Demons are not your friends. They want to destroy your emotional and psychological well-being. Demons are real. The devil is real. Demons are fallen angels which were once good but now have an inherent hatred towards mankind, and they wish to destroy young people especially. Demons will always want to grab a foothold in a man's soul. And the Charlie game might appear innocent, but this is the kind of game the demons use to grab a hold of you. We often regard most of the things we see in horror movies as a fiction, but most of those things we see are actually real-life experiences. This dangerous game going on social media openly encourages young people to summon demons. And I want to remind you that there is no such thing as innocently playing with demons. So be sure not to participate, and also encourage people not to participate either, especially teenagers, because it seems to be rampant amongst them. The problem with opening yourself up to demonic activities is that it opens a window of possibilities which may not be easily closed. So, do not mess around with forces you cannot handle. Do you think this Charlie challenge is evil or just an innocent game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. You can log on to my other channel where I discuss this in depth. I will leave a link to it in the description below. If you found any value from this at all, do well to leave me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell to get more content like this coming your way. Click on the next video showing on your screen and I'll see you there. Goodbye and God bless.